And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, today is a very quick update on what we have been following for the last several weeks and months. The Minnesota fraud situation. It seems like it just keeps going on and on and on. And today is no exception, y'all. So with the recent government shutdown, everybody turned their attention to the SNAP benefits. People who hadn't even thought about supplemental nutrition assistance. People who hadn't thought about that maybe ever started thinking, those SNAP benefits, they're kind of important in the United States. There are people who can't even eat without governmental assistance. But then very soon came out all of the allegations of fraud in the system. People who have entered the system multiple times and are receiving multiple benefits. People who have several $1,000s per month, supposedly several $1,000s per month worth of benefits, who will sell their benefits at pennies on the dollar in order to get cash. Just all kinds of fraud, y'all. And today, wouldn't you know it, guess where the capital of the SNAP fraud just might be, y'all. If you're thinking the capital of the immigration fraud, the capital of the Medicaid fraud, the capital of the autism fraud, the capital of the Feeding Our Future fraud, the capital of all kinds of fraud, would it be any surprise that this same locale may also be the capital of the SNAP fraud, y'all? So without further ado, y'all, let's just go ahead and hop right into it. But before we do, y'all, we are launching our official Patreon. So if you want to be a founding member on our Patreon, we have just 222 slots, y'all. If you want to be a founding member, go down, click the very first link in the description, and you're gonna feel good about this, y'all, because believe it or not, we are an actual paralegal school, and we help people get their paralegal certificate and get working in the paralegal field. And all of the proceeds from our Patreon, when you enroll as a founding member, all of that is gonna go to scholarships for people who would like to study at our institute, y'all. So click that first link down in the description. Join us as a founding member, y'all. This deal will not come back. Now let's get into the story.
So the Center for Immigration Studies has found that anywhere from 50 to 60% of households that are headed by illegal immigrants rely on SNAP benefits and other programs similar to that. Is there a problem with that?
Well, we, at almost the very beginning, I think on my first day, I sent a letter to every governor in America saying, send us your data. No illegal aliens on any SNAP or food stamp or WIC program, period, full stop. Everyone said, oh, no, we're not doing that. It is illegal. I mean, it is not allowable.
Hello, this is State Senator Glenn Grunhagen coming to you from the Capitol with another critical issue here in Minnesota. I'd like to talk about SNAP benefits and how much fraud is being exposed nationally and here in the state of Minnesota, according to Federal Secretary Brooke Rollins, who has requested SNAP enrollment benefits from all 50 states. 29 states have agreed and submitted enrollment information. 21 states, including Minnesota, have refused. The results from states that submitted SNAP enrollment, a lot of fraud and enrollment of illegal immigrants has already been discovered.
So as this video progresses, you're going to see Minnesota State Senator Glenn Grunhagen. He's going to lay out the case for why Minnesota is probably the SNAP fraud capital of the country. Try to say that 3 times fast. SNAP fraud capital of the country. All right, I did it. That was pretty cool. So y'all, many people are upset and even enraged because, one, it feels bad to know that 42 million Americans, 42 million, rely on the government for basic food necessities. Like, something's definitely wrong there. I think we can all agree with that. And I'm not blaming the people who need the assistance. There's some kind of changes we need to make societally and systematically. So I think we can all agree on that. But while people do need that assistance, we would want the system and the program to run efficiently and hopefully with minimal fraud and minimal waste. But that is not what we're saying, y'all. So this is now receiving a lot of attention in light of well, all of the attention on SNAP.
We've been talking about ratings. So last week we had you on to talk about SNAP. You posted that and you got 40 million views. I want to ask you about what's happening with that ruling last night, but tell me why you think that went so viral.
Well, it's interesting, Rachel. I have been doing this for a really long time, and we talked about this last Saturday, that, listen, people want the government open. They want those who are the most vulnerable, who are hungry, to make sure that they are fed. That's the SNAP program. But within all of that, the level of fraud and corruption and double dipping and selling benefits is astounding. And I think it hit a nerve with America to have our discussion. 40 million people watch it about how corrupt the SNAP program is, how we have to fix it. I think just tells you that Americans are paying attention and they're not okay with government as usual. We need to clean the house.
In Minnesota, a state that refused to submit enrollment information to the federal government, State Representative Pam Aldendorf did some excellent research on SNAP enrollment between 2019 and 2021. The enrollment increased during that time under the Walz administration. It went up a staggering 174%.
So SNAP, it is administered by the USDA. And as you can see, the administrator, she is saying, look, we've been trying to get a handle on this SNAP fraud situation since I've been in office. And guess what? Certain states won't work with us. Y'all, why? Why is this happening? It makes me feel so disheartened to know that states can just say, nah, we're not gonna work with you. We're just gonna let the fraud waste the abuse. We're just gonna let it. And then they're gonna say they need more money, y'all. And then they're gonna say they need more money.
However, the 29 states, mostly red states, that sent us their data, what we found was really astounding. And now we're in lawsuits to get the rest of the data so that we can work to fix this. So there is no doubt that there is a massive, massive fraud in the program.
Let me repeat that. The enrollment increased during the time of the Walz administration from 2019 to 2021. It went up the cost went up a staggering 174%. Minnesota is the highest state in the nation in terms of an increase of SNAP expenditures by over 50% increase compared to other states. No wonder the Walz administration refuses to hand over this information on the SNAP program.
And then you also have the situation of people in the country without permission drawing from SNAP. Now listen, y'all, I want to be very clear. Immigrant communities have been somewhat demonized about this. You know, they say that Afghan communities, that Somali communities, they have a high level of drawing from these programs. I think it's very important that we know how long have these people been settled in the United States. I think if you've been in the United States for just a few years, you're still trying to learn the language. And I mean, legally, you know, there are a lot of people who have come from these countries that we have allowed to come in. All right. And if you've been here for a few years, you're still getting your footing. You're still figuring things out, still learning the language, still trying to get yourself acclimated. Of course, you're going to have a higher level of drawing on governmental benefits. You don't know, you're not from here, right? But I think once you've been here for decades, once you're second generation, once you're third generation, then we would expect to see those numbers even out. And above everything else, y'all already know that I'm talking about the people right there who are in the country with permission. But when you're in the country without permission, you know, I've already said the government needs to reserve the resources for the people who are citizens, permanent residents, and we can even extend that to asylees, people who are here, people who are citizens and in the country with permission. I definitely think we should be doing everything we can to reduce the number of SNAP recipients, people who need the government just to eat, on a whole.
When you look at the Walz administration's support of illegal immigration and sanctuary cities, can you easily conclude that a lot of enrollment and use of your tax dollars is for illegal immigrants, along with waste, fraud, and abuse? To put this in context, Minnesota's population grew at about 1.8% during 19 to 21. The enrollments in the SNAP program grew at about 20% between those years, and yet the SNAP program cost, your tax dollars went up by a staggering 174%. Again, that's the highest in the nation by more than 50% increase compared to other states.
So y'all, this is just another update on your Minnesota fraud situation. All of this has been brought to you courtesy of your boy, the almost vice president of the United States, Tim Walz. And of course, people in his state like your girl, Ilhan Omar, and her best friend, Omar Fateh. So y'all, let me know, what do you think about this? I mean, do you agree with me that people who are asylees, people who have come to the country seeking asylum, that we have allowed in, do you agree with me that we should give them some grace on the government benefit situation? Or what do you think? I mean, do you think that we should just totally cut it back all the way? Do you think we're giving away too much? Do you think we're not giving away enough? Let me know down in the comments. Drop a comment, but before you do, please stop, hit the share button. Share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all your favorite social mediums. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Y'all check out the first link in the description. It is our Patreon. We would appreciate your support. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.
When you add the known fraud of over $2 billion since 2019, many of my constituents have come to believe that the Walz administration is using Minnesota and federal tax dollars to buy election votes for Democrats and Governor Walz himself. Please, please get involved and let's right the ship here in Minnesota. Thank you. Please spread this over social media. And again, God bless you. Let's make Minnesota great again.